So I'm so sorry. When I edit videos, I got to take away all of my chats and stuff like that, and I got to recenter my camera. So like, yeah, I was editing today, and I know I didn't get a video up, and I know you guys are gonna, much better. Some of you guys might get mad at me for that, but you know what? Unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait for this next upload because it's gonna be good. We're gonna be examining this person known as Melissa Schumann so that we can actually go forward into this thing that's going on with this whole movement of the lie crime community, and that way we'll just get it a little more. Also, we've got our, top 5 scams of 2022 that'll be hitting UNIRocktv soon, and we'll have some other videos that'll kind of show off some of the stuff we've been doing over the years, just to close out this entire story arc, because this story arc really has gone on for a couple of years. We didn't really have an end to this season of my channel like we typically do. We should be on season 8. Season 8 of UNIRocktv should be starting on UNIRocktv, but unfortunately, because season 6 has gone on for like 2.5 years, technically we're going to be moving into season 7. I think I'm just going to skip season 7 and go to season 8 anyway. But that doesn't matter. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I want to end all of this stuff. Now, it doesn't mean I won't talk about this same stuff going forward. Yeah, of course we will. But my format's going to just be a little different, so that's why. Also, I have a new background. And it's of course it's a meme, it's a joke, but it is going to be really cringy until I change it. I don't know when I'm going to change it, but I'm ready to show you my new background for 2023. Oh no, I gotta put the background up here for this, for the patch chat. Boink boink, there we go. Yeah, how do you guys like my new background? Let me show it to you. This is my new computer desktop background. Look, it's KJ's BMW, y'all. It's Katie's new BMW, guys. That's my new background. It's just a dumb joke. Of course, it won't really be my background. I'll probably switch back to Busy writing his Lizzie. Busy on a Lizzie. Busy's lizard friend. My assistant. Yeah. So let's get into it because I don't want to ramble. I actually have been told that I need to stop rambling and get into the content because you guys want me to be a real YouTuber in 2023. So get ready because I'm gonna bring it to you. Oh, and here's a new room I got. You guys like? I think it's a pretty neat little new room. I'm gonna probably use it for some of my uploads and stuff, but I'm gonna tone down the color of the background. It'll be a little darker. I like it. I like it, but the reason I can't use it for live streaming, or I'll just have to use it like every once in a while for live streaming, is because I want to have your chat above me. So yeah, we're gonna be stuck over here. Melissa Schumann. Oh Lord, I don't know what to say to you about Melissa Schumann and Nick Carter. I don't know, because listen, again, when I come into a story or a situation where we've got 2 claims, we have 0 evidence, we've got different reasons for each side believing what they believe, unfortunately, I try to stay neutral until I have some reason, logic, evidence, something that'll help me make up my mind. And if you don't know, Melissa Schumann, back in 2017 said that back in 2004 she had been into a bad encounter, and I'm only saying it that way because of the YouTube algorithm, with a famous Backstreet Boy celebrity guy, Nick Carter. Not Aaron. Aaron's the one who, RIP, passed away recently. His brother, Nick, was the one who in 2017, Melissa Schumann had come out and stated that she, due to several specific reasons, couldn't come out before 2017. She did state why. And again, I'm not going to tell you what I think about either side. In fact, I'll just tell you, I don't know what to think in this story at all. But back to what I was saying, Schumann is a semi-celebrity, or a halfway there celebrity. She was in a girl group called Dream, and they kind of hit it big. She did some duets or something with Nick, had some you know, singles or solo songs that kind of did okay. And I guess she's a 2-time platinum selling musician. Now, the weird thing is she has a YouTube channel that she started in 2014. And on that channel, her first video is literally titled, "I Have to Be Internet Famous." We're not going to look at that right now because I don't want to take you guys down that kind of thing. The reason I'm bringing this up is because whether or not, whether you believe one way or the other when it comes to what Melissa says, it is going to be an exercise in you know, keeping yourself neutral against a lot of claims and a lot of lies. Well, let me tell you why this has all come up. And of course, keep an eye out for the video I'm going to upload to UNIROCK2 that'll go a little bit more in depth to this whole thing. Before we get into the insane last few days of drama, and I don't even want to show you what's happened. I don't even want to go there, but we're going to go. So what was I going to say here? Okay, Molly, you remember where a YouTuber named Sloan had come out and said that Nick Carter's wife sent messages basically threatening Sloan. And Molly went on this like conspiracy theory hunt to prove that Sloan was not threatened. Follow me? So I've got notes, and instead of playing Molly's video, I told you guys I'm going to start skipping some of that long Molly blab going forward. And I've done some prep work to tell you what Molly said about Sloan really fast. She said that because basically at some point Melissa Schumann followed Sloan. Then, because Melissa Schumann had followed Sloan, Sloan is lying about Nick Carter's wife. Then she said that Sloan followed back Melissa Schumann. And because Sloan followed her back, it means that you can't trust Sloan. And then she said that Sloan deleted the video that he posted, and therefore he's lying. And I swear to God, I could play the video for you. It would only torture your brain to try to track what she's saying about this, okay? Now, that happened a couple weeks ago, and of course, Sloan didn't just delete the video and run off. That's not what happened. And I'm not defending Sloan. I don't know whose side to take in this entire thing. I don't think I'm going to take anyone's side in this entire thing, because there will be some stories that end with everybody being a douchebag. Everybody sucks that was involved in the story. But Sloan says that he deleted the videos because his attorneys told him to, and they were going to be handling it to some capacity legally. This is what made me ask the question of, why is Melissa Schumann part of the story? Why is a singer who didn't really get that big back in the day, she kind of got a little big, but she didn't get that big back in the day, and then she fell off, why is she part of this story? And of course, if you remember, if you were at my live stream a few weeks ago, you all in the chat told me why. You guys told me that Schumann was the reason Molly started her channel back in 2018. And that led me to put a little more research time into my video of the beginnings of Molly Golightly, and that's led us to today. Now, I don't know how I missed a certain YouTube channel, not Heels in the Air. Heels in the Air we're going to be looking at in just a minute. But I missed a YouTube channel called Molly Golightly Deleted Videos. And this channel isn't going to give you Molly's deleted videos going back into infinity and beyond, okay? It's only going to be giving you Molly's deleted videos from back around 2018 and some forward, some of it a little forward, where the whole Melissa Schumann story arc started to happen with Molly. Now, I did watch a little bit of this video. And I think I've actually seen a couple of the videos on this channel on different channels, but either way, I watched a little bit of this and immediately said to myself, I need to go live and show this to you so that you guys can help me track this. You can keep me in the right direction. And let me just go ahead and play it for you, because tonight I'm going to be giving you faster content, less rambling, less drawn out stuff. We're going to be getting to Betty tonight. We're going to be getting to the Idaho situation tonight, and we're going to be looking a little bit deeper. Wait, do we need this? We don't need the, well, we're going to keep this here just in case we want to laugh. This is just a really weird video that Molly posted in her bathroom. But let's just get into it right now. This is Molly Golightly and Nick Carter, August of 2018, from the channel Molly Golightly Deleted Videos. These videos are being reposted as a resource for those interested in Molly's history on YouTube. So let's actually see why we need to keep these videos for 5 years.
Okay.
Molly made them go bye-bye.
We got 15 minutes here. So, everybody wants to know about what I'm going to say about Nick Carter being in the news again. Nick Carter's in the news again because his false rape accuser, Melissa Schumann, is, I guess, the DA of Los Angeles is finally going to look at the investigation against Nick.
But they did. There is hard evidence. Listen, and again, nothing I say tonight is going to be on Melissa's side or on Nick's side. I'm just going to weigh in on what I could fact check of this in the last week. Okay? The DA did look at this. The police did think they had enough evidence to press forward against Nick. The DA checked it against SOL, or statute of limitations, and said it's too far gone. It cannot be prosecuted due to statute of limitations. That's what happened. Does that mean Nick's guilty? No. Does that mean he's innocent? No. You're not going to figure out whether Nick is guilty or innocent, or whether Melissa is lying or not, by just giving this a quick glance. I've gone deep into the subject, and I'm no closer into knowing anything. Now, this is important. I'm not just saying it for no reason, and I'm also not trying to get you to weigh in on this story. This doesn't matter too much. It does matter to Melissa and Nick, I'm sure, and their fans. What I mean, it doesn't matter when it comes, it does matter when it comes to Molly's start on the channel, or I'm sorry, on YouTube, and how she started her channel, and it matters to why we're in this position. Now, I don't know if it still says this in my description, because I had my computer crash again, even though I did all this work to it in the last couple days. It really angered me. I'm still salty over my computer crashing. But my description at one point talked about how we are in a mess where YouTube has been ignoring their community guidelines, unable to be able to weigh in and enforce them when it comes to a few specific doxers, because they delete their videos when they do really bad things. And this doesn't just apply to Molly, but it does apply to around 8 other people. One of those 8 people just got deleted, though. And that person did get deleted for doxing. So we are seeing some sunshine on the horizon. So maybe we'll have an answer. And I did tell you guys Wednesday, I might have said Tuesday in a community post. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to be tagging Team YouTube again. So please do me a solid and see if you can check into my Twitter sometime tomorrow night and tag Team YouTube with us, because if we keep doing this, just might get YouTube to look at the situation.
Nick Carter, okay. So, Brandon Henschel, the Brandon Henschel, who has renamed me Molly McButter. So no more Mrs. Golightly. It's Molly McButter for you guys.
We'll call you Molly McButter. It actually works.
Well, you know what? I am more concerned and frightened about a cockroach coming into this house than I am about Brandon Henschel. Like, I am.
You know, she's always displayed her same antics, but are you noticing something here that one of the main reasons why I thought I might bring this to you? Is there anything weird about this video so far? Damn it, I wish I had the Jeopardy theme song to play. Anything weird about this video so far? I wonder what it could be. You know, something's missing from Miss Golightly or Miss Butterfingers. What is it? Listen one more time here.
I don't care about his threats to expose me. He wants to expose me to the His Side 2 girls, to all my...
Her accent doesn't exist. She can turn that thing on and off on the drop of a dime, y'all. The accent is out the window. It doesn't exist. This is weird. This is really strange. We've heard her many times lose it or gain it very heavily. But have you ever heard her talk so long without it, completely without it? Just if you closed your eyes, you wouldn't be able to tell that this is regular Molly, you know, based on the accent. The accent's gone.
My followers on YouTube, and
it's gone. Tell me it's not gone.
Public, anyone who watched that I'm a big fat liar, because
I mean, it's completely gone. She even just said the word liar properly.
We're gonna find out that there is an investigation. Well,
even when she's getting all, you know, hypity, she's not have it.
Brandon Henschel, do you remember when I told you I'm always gonna be 15 steps ahead of you? Well,
you're not 15. You've never been 15 steps ahead of anything, Molly. Because again, you were wrong here. You know, I just, you know, it's sad to me to think that we have so many people that just want to say people are lying right off the bat, right? When I first heard the story about Amber Heard, I didn't make up my mind. I didn't judge it, not for or against Johnny or Amber. And I hope more people start doing that, because this is a condition of social media. It's a condition of cancel culture to get you to make up your mind very quickly. Because if you do that, you're trusting what the person's bringing you without fact checking. And if they can get you to do that for a very severe topic that affects someone else's life, they'll get you to do it with anything. You know, you got to roll it back, and you got to go in and look for the facts. You got to be sympathetic to both sides. I know people will tell you it's impossible, but it's very possible for you to be able to look at both sides and judge what they're saying without being completely against or for either of those sides, okay?
Well, guess what? Tiny Dancer, I am 15 steps ahead of you. I already know that the police questioned a bunch of people on...
Oh my God, her accent just came back when she mentioned the popo.
Melissa's side, and I already know that they already...
And then it disappeared.
...questioned a couple of people on Nick's side.
I mean, it's completely gone. Again, it's not that it's just barely there. It's just that it's a different MGL.
I already know about that. Why would I put that in a video?
Where is your accent?
When I say that there's no investigation, okay? There is no investigation.
You were wrong. There was a police investigation. I have hard evidence of the police investigation. I've got the DA admitting there was a police investigation. And this is really kind of nasty. How do you say this? How did you? Why can't you be honest ever? I mean, we're going back 5 years, and one of the main things you did was because you wanted to defend a celebrity that you wanted to butter up to. You were willing to lie about a very intense part of a story. And again, I might even agree with you when it comes to, because her main point here is don't believe Melissa. I say don't believe anybody. Don't believe either side. Just go in neutral due to the circumstances that are here. And it doesn't mean that the doctors and that the police and that people doing a specific job, a professional capacity. I mean people looking in from the outside. There is a certain amount of minding your business at some part of a story in a certain severe situation.
This is what I am saying. Like, this is the police, okay? You got LAPD, a district attorney with all this shit coming in.
Yes, it's just true. The LAPD and the DA went on record and made responses, so I don't know what this was all about, Molly, but...
Really? Come on now. They go like this? Oh, God. Oh, God.
No, They did an actual investigation and it then recommended it to the DA. I mean, it's just the truth.
This is it. That's how a district attorney works, okay? Even in a little small town, okay? Even in a little tiny town, they're like, whatever.
Now, this is someone that makes money talking true crime. So,
this was all about timing, okay? We know
that'd be like me going to a guy that works at the front desk of a pizzeria and asking him to do surgery on my leg. You know, it's like,
that it's not going to go anywhere. You know it's not going anywhere. So why do you keep on with this?
No, everybody knew that it wasn't going anywhere because the DA turned down the investigation going to court due to the statute of limitations. So, I mean, at the time, this was known. The time you put this video up, it was public.
I just want to know, seriously, what does Melissa want?
Well, Melissa wanted people to believe her. And I know this because she said it straight out in the blog she posted to reveal what happened to the public. And I wanted to be nice enough to say, I'll try to, but unfortunately, there's not enough there to be able to say that I do or don't. I can't make up my mind on it.
She never actually came out and said what she did want. She went on Dr.
No, she actually did. If you just read the first blog post, I just read it. I debated whether reading it to you guys, but I'm not going to. It's still public. It's still on her website. There is so much misinformation in this video that I could fact check in just a couple hours. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Oz and said, I'm not doing this to hurt you. I don't want your money.
No, I don't think she was doing it to hurt him. I don't think she was. And she definitely didn't want his money because she didn't sue him. She did have the opportunity to sue him, and she didn't. And some people did use that as, well, you must not be telling the truth. And again, I'm not saying she is or she isn't. I would feel horrible if I tried to make up my mind or even mock her because, again, there are so many pieces of this puzzle that go both ways. Very hardcore. And I could break them down for you right now, but I just think it would be a little dangerous to do so. I might do it in my upload. I don't know. You know, you need to hear it slow. You need to hear it when you're actually thinking. You need to hear it with evidence on the screen. You know, there are some really kind of wacky things about this whole situation.
Like, but what do you want?
She said in her blog she wanted people to believe her and that now I'm just telling you what she said. Again, I'm not telling you she's being honest or not. She wanted people to believe her and she wanted people to come out sooner who had been the victim of these types of situations. Because she, in her blog, literally puts an image and links to a news story where an anonymous person had come out and reported that this had happened to them. So they were coming out and saying that Nick did this to me, and this person told their story. Melissa saw that and saw that it matched her story. And, you know, as much as I want to go into more detail about it, I'm not going to right now. But just to answer Molly's question, again, there it is. It's so easy to fact check that.
So just tell me, after all of these story changes.
Story changes. Story. I also looked into where you claim that she changed her story. And I just haven't been able to confirm that she did. I've found things that debunk you, but I haven't found enough to where I'm comfortable with it yet. Molly was one of the sole people that started a campaign, whether it was right or wrong, I don't know yet, campaign to believe that Melissa Schumann changed her story a bunch. And unfortunately, while at first I did think it was confirmable, unfortunately, through further investigation, I found a lot of the reason that people think that is because in a couple situations, it was based on how people reported things as opposed to how things were actually said. That could be a lie from Melissa's side, or it could be the truth from another side. So, you know, this is just something I'll have to look at later.
A story should not change.
Well, you also should be able to put the source of your claim on the screen. And I skipped through this. I don't think you do. No, you don't. And so for you to say that the story shouldn't change, I completely agree. Though you also shouldn't be able to just say that it did. You should have to explain how and where and why. Okay?
I think we all know that. Any fool can tell you a story should not change. Hers has changed.
And you know what's really weird? When it came to your fraud razor, Molly, that's exactly one of the main things that caused us to bust you and Letitia. Your stories would change within minutes. So I completely agree.
Changed significantly about 6 different times. And we've...
No, actually, you haven't shown that. You have not shown that. I've looked through many things that you've put out at the time. You haven't shown that in any of your videos. I've went out and tried to find other people that claim they can prove that, and unfortunately it fell flat. I am going to keep checking before I make up my mind, though, because I haven't given it enough, you know, of a look. I'd like to be able to go to what Melissa actually said at one point and at the next point and at the next point, and that's where I haven't had time yet.
Caught you guys every single time. Whatever. You want to just keep on going with this bullshit, then that's fine, baby. You know what? This has been nothing but a learning experience for me. But wasn't for your
so cringy
freaky deaky wife, Melissa Schumann, I wouldn't have my channel, and I love my channel.
Okay. Now, here is Unirock piece of evidence number 1, because again, regardless of how much we talk about her battle with Melissa Schumann, and whether it matters or doesn't to anything that's going on right now outside of Melissa and Nick, she just told you, she just confirmed you, the chat. You guys told me a few weeks ago, hey, Scarlett, thank you. A few weeks ago, you guys told me that the thing that started Molly's YouTube channel was Molly's pursuit against Melissa Schumann. And, you know, I hate to say it, is the more I look into Melissa Schumann, the more I agree with Molly on her end point, the fact that she says there are problems with what Melissa says. But the thing is, again, just like with every other story Molly goes into, it's like she's rolling the dice. Because it's a performance. There's no facts and evidence. It's mostly a performance, and she takes a side, and then sometimes she could be on the right side, or sometimes she could be on the wrong side. Like with Dre, she was on the wrong side. But when it comes to Melissa, I'm not saying she is on the right side, but she may be. So anyway, but you heard her say it. In fact, I think it's very important. So let's hear it one more time. You guys were correct. The thing that started Molly on YouTube was Melissa Schumann. Take a listen.
A learning experience for me, but wasn't for your freaky deaky wife.
Let me make sure I have this timestamp. Sorry, y'all.
Nothing but a learning experience for me, but wasn't for your freaky deaky wife, Melissa Schumann, I wouldn't have my channel, and I love my channel. I've met so many cool people because of my channel, let me tell you. And I enjoy it. And you know what? I met a really great group of girls.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Michelle in a little bit. I know the big drama out there right now is with Michelle. I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to say, but I'll wait and I'll talk to the chat before we get into the Michelle part of this. Let's finish this, then we'll talk about Michelle and current drama.
Intelligent, beautiful, honest, caring girls that you wouldn't think would give a shit about Nick Carter.
Well, you see, Melissa worked with Nick, sung with him, performed with them, Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know why you'd say what you just said, but either way, go ahead.
Half of them aren't even Backstreet Boy fans. Oh my God. Oh my God. Nick Carter, there's your wife sending me a message. It just came down. I don't know what she said.
See, that's just a lie. You're lying. Nick Carter's wife didn't message you right here. I can just tell by the way you just acted. It was such a lie. And, you know, she built herself by playing these games in the beginning. She wanted people to think she was very attached to Nick's wife, and other people. Like, she used her relationship with Aaron to try to make people believe she had a relationship with other people close to Aaron. Now, there is another possibility, and it is that she did get a text message from Nick's wife, because I'm not the only person, as I watched some of these old videos, that I started to believe that Molly could have been put up to doing this. She could have been asked to do this. She could have been maybe approached by someone who she knew that was close to Nick, that went through that person to ask Molly to do this. Now, I wasn't going to bring that up if it wasn't for the fact that as I looked around on the old internet, you know, started to look at archives, started to look at old posts, started to look at older things that are out there, and some things that are currently out there, I noticed that there's a lot of people that believe that. There are people that believe that the reason that Molly so crazily started to play this game and insert herself into this situation was because she was asked to. And, you know, that's a bad thing for people to believe if it's not true. Because if it is true, all these little examples of Molly trying to pretend that Nick messaged her, Nick's wife messaged her, the president of the United States messaged her, George Bush Sr. messaged her, you know, all these little things that she does ends up validating that thought process. So whether it could be true, it could be true. She could have been put up to this. She could have even been paid to do this. But I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to believe it. I have no evidence for it. Some people out there are going to take her constant claims that she's on the phone with Nick and on the phone with Nick's wife as evidence that she was paid to do this, though. So you know what? She did that to herself. Personally, my gut tells me that she wasn't talking to Nick or Nick's wife, and that she was doing this to try and get close to them, to try to get closer to Aaron, and to try to get favors from them, to try to get recognized by them, to get some clout off of them. That's where I sit. I think she's lying. But if you think she was paid off by them, I'm not going to hate on you for believing it. Some of you know more about this than I do, so.
But that was just her just now. Okay, so.
I don't believe you.
I got to meet some good girl friends. I have got to learn so much about evil people, about vindictiveness, about investing.
You know, it's pretty crazy. I don't also believe what you're saying here, because you are the queen of vindictive. You're the queen of jealousy and the queen of vindictiveness. And I don't think you learned that 5 years ago here. I think you have been like this for a longer period of time than 5 or 10 years. And it's part of your personality that you've, you know, nurtured and grown since you were younger. Due to how far gone you are in current year 2022, going into 2023. Of course, it's only been a couple days of 2023. So seeing how vindictive and nasty and evil you can be in 2022, it does kind of tell me that this was an act that you're trying to make people think that you're learning about vindictiveness, you're learning about these things now in 2018. I believe that you have known about this stuff much longer.
Investigating about, I mean, the things that I've learned in the past 8 months have been absolutely incredible.
8 months. So from what I've got, we have a video. We're going to go to it now because I told you guys I'm going to do shorter clips. There's a lot of good stuff in this. So if there's more I want you to see, it'll be uploaded to Unirock too. but we need to move to February of 2018. Now, in August, she had said she'd been up to this for 8 months. We're going to jump back to February and see what she said. Let's actually start with March, then we'll go back to February. Okay, so let's start with March. Make sure you guys can hear it okay. No, we want 150. All right.
Hello, everyone. I am back in the United States, so I thought that I would make a close to neck. Basically proved what I set out to prove. Okay, for his side too, and me personally, because like I said in another video, I have basically proved what I set out to prove. I'm trying to be a little bit vague. I'm very tired from traveling, and I just took a shower, so I am ready for bed right now. So you're gonna have to deal with no makeup and like semi-wet hair.
Where is that accent? I can't watch any of these videos without constantly asking myself where your accent's gone. Let's put this on a little faster speed because I just want to give you guys more condensed information, and you need to hear this. So in March of 18, she feels that she's proven her case against Schumann. Now, it's pretty crazy that she says this because, again, what we just watched was in August, and she went on against Schumann all the way into 18, probably into 19. Either way, though, again, not defending Schumann and not attacking Schumann. I don't want to make a comment on Schumann and Nick myself, but let's let Molly talk.
Things are coming to a close with the Melissa Schumann, Nick Carter thing.
It didn't come to a close, not for you at least. You know, I wish I could interview Melissa Schumann. I don't think she would talk to me. I don't think she'd trust me. I don't think she'd talk to me. I don't think she would, yeah, it wouldn't happen. But I'd like to be able to ask her some questions.
I'm appreciative of the information given to me by someone very extremely.
She's lying. I mean, I can just tell you through her body language and her facial, I'll say tics, but you know, some of her body language just completely tells me that she's not speaking from memory at all. She's speaking from imagination. She's making up a lot as she goes. I really feel this was so performative, and it really does send me down this rabbit hole of believing that she was put up to this. And I know you guys are, it's been long enough since this happened. I don't think I'm going to cause any conspiracy theories myself by saying that. I don't believe it. Again, I do think it was a lie. I think it was performative. I think it was something she did. Remember, she doesn't have a YouTube following at this point. She didn't have a YouTube following until Dre, right? She was under 20,000 subs until Dre. You feel me? Now, I think 20,000 is a following, though. When she hit the Dre thing is when she went to where she is now, and it's a brand new thing for her.
Close to Nick. Hello, Nick.
Nope, there it is again. And if I just analyze the way she's behaving, like her body language, her actions, and the change in her, the flush, like you can see it in her skin tone. You can see it in the way she's moving and the way she's going. Like she's just completely making up this relationship with Nick Carter. But if you were to believe her, you would think that she's besties with Nick.
I know you're watching. I got permission to do the video. So
you are, again, just like in all your videos, saying that someone with like 50 subs, Molly Golightly, this is after, I believe this is after, isn't this after, in 2018, after her stripper arrest? Wasn't that in 2016 or 17? You guys probably know, right? What year was the stripper arrest? This is after she did the only television series that she had done was a television series where she was talking about her experience as an escort. And so the thing is, this person with no subs, this person with no celebrity goes out there and wants people to believe that she is extremely close to Nick Carter. And again, the only way that can be true is if she was paid and put up to this. Again, though, why, if she was, would they be okay with her admitting that she talks to them every day, that she's around them every day? Again, I do feel it's a lie, but you constantly get yanked. This was before the arrest. Oh, okay. Sorry, Melanie. Okay. Either way, though, it's after she did her little TV series, though. The whole hooker TV thing.
If this is some sort of open letter to
Was the arrest in 18 then? I probably just got the years mixed up.
Nick Carter. Hey, Nick. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you and your family are doing good. But we've already established what we spoke about, and everything's coming to an end. And I'm very happy that this nightmare for you and Lauren is coming to an end in the next couple of weeks. I'm happy that things have transpired and the truth has come out, but that it hasn't come out publicly. And I don't
even know what she's talking about here. She's not good at conveying information, so God knows.
Very grateful to have been a part of relieving some of the stress on.
Melody says, I'm shocked how often she's admitted to sleeping with a minor as an adult. She's gross.
On you and your family and your bandmates. And like I've said in other videos, the people who work around you, Nick Carter, and people that depend on you and the rest of the Backstreet Boys on how they pay their bills and take care of their families. I know that it was stressful for you guys. It was stressful for me. It was stressful for my group of...
You know, it's so hard to believe a word that comes out of her mouth. She's just got the behavior of she has the behaviors of a pathological liar. And there are a few tiny things that she has manipulated herself into that she can use as clout to be able to solidify her narratives. So she takes a tiny, tiny, tiny thing and she just turns it into, she will literally, it's one of the most desperate kind of moves I've ever seen. She takes the tiniest nugget of truth, the tiniest little salt, you know what I'm talking about, granule of truth, and then she will take that thing and stretch it for miles. I mean, anything she can.
Group of girls, my fabulous 20 group of girls. Like I said, Nick, you owe us ice cream.
I feel like she's making all of this up. You know, when she talks about speaking to Aaron, she doesn't do this. So I do think she was speaking to Aaron. Only analyzing her behavior, she doesn't have this. You see this kind of giggly, laughy, and the moving of the arms and the face doesn't happen mentioning her talking to Aaron. And then as soon as she goes in and she starts bringing up these 20 girls and Nick Carter and Nick's wife and these other things, she has this reaction that makes me kind of easily be able to tell where I believe, and again, it's not evidence, it's a observation, but for me to believe where she's lying and where she's not.
You owe us an ice cream cone.
There it is. Here it is again. There it is again.
For all we did.
These faces, these behaviors.
But you know what, Nick? We did the right thing, and we did work very hard to prove the truth. You did not deserve what was handed to you and your family. No man deserves this unless they are guilty.
See, now again, she's gone back. She wanted, when she was talking about Aaron, you think that she's saying that it happened to Aaron based on the way she's talking. Then when she's talking about Nick, you think she's talking about something happening to Nick. So she's just very bad about conveying information.
You were the victim here.
You don't know this. This is why, like, I've looked into it, and as far as I can tell, it's why it's dangerous for someone like Molly be given the ability to do what she's doing, you know, because it seems as if Melissa is honest about some things, and it seems like Nick is honest about some things, right? So, man, I'm starting to get a really bad feeling about this whole thing.
Sadly, a lot of Me Too rape victims and victims of child molestation and incest and people that thought that Me Too was supposed to be an outlet where they could be finally heard, and that
kind of got to look at when they came out, and you got to look at each individual story, because we are talking about where there will be true stories and there will not be. It's both scenarios exist, and unless you can say every one of them's a lie or every one of them is true, you acting like this, Molly, is very dangerous. It's very sick. Like it's you know, it's hard to even weigh in. I'm trying not to.
This would have been taken seriously. That was actually taken away from these people because of Melissa Schumann, and it was probably
no. That's the thing. How? What do you mean? It was taken by Melissa Schumann. So, okay, I'm going to just for 1 second break it down. So if Melissa Schumann's telling the truth, Melissa felt she named very specific people who pressured her into not going to authorities and not pressing charges. And they gave her very specific reasons why. Some of them seemed as if they were giving those reasons if she's telling the truth. Some seemed like they were giving those reasons being real with her or caring about her. Others seemed to be misleading her. Though, if you look at the other side of it, from Melissa's standpoint, it seems as if the story she told did happen. Just going through like, if I was to read Amber Heard's description of a story, Melissa Schumann's description of a story, and like 16 other people's description of stories, you could put them into categories where Amber Heard's story is over here and Melissa's is going to be over here, because Melissa was very specific, yet what she was specific about was appropriate. Now, if Melissa is just a really good liar, she could have made it seem that way while lying. Melissa would need to be a very, very good liar for her to lie about this whole thing and tell the story she told. That's what I'm trying to say. Again, I don't know I'm not making any determination. Whereas somebody like Amber Heard was a very bad liar. Once you heard Amber start to break down things, that's where you could go in and say, but hold on, if we just look back here, if we just look at this, if we look at the evidence here, and everything falls apart, right? So, I don't know, man. Let's just let her talk, because, again, the main thing here is not between Melissa and Nick or that situation. It's the way Molly used the situation in very specific ways to hoist herself into where she is now. And I want to find the part of the story where she stopped attacking the direct victim, because there's always there seems to be the earlier stories that Molly gets involved with, she is attacking a direct victim, and somewhere along the line she started to attack people next to the victim, and she made it a habit, made it a complete habit to do that, because I think she realized that she was destined to be debunked, be hated, get in trouble, lose her YouTube if she kept going after these victims in that way. And so she started going after family members of victims. But either way,
the worst thing that could have happened to this Me Too movement, I didn't have a problem with it. I'm totally supportive of people having their story be lifted off their chest and finally be heard. But in the case of Scott Baio, in the case of Nick Carter, you two men were targeted because of your status, because of your wealth, because of your name, and it is wrong. Nick, you were attacked repeatedly by Kaya Jones and Melissa Schumann, and
I need to see, I hear her say these things, and I've looked into a lot of what Melissa said, and I haven't seen that. I have seen a lot of people attack Nick. It seemed like Melissa took a passenger seat role, like she was telling her story and she went and did other things. Now, I'm not saying she didn't. According to Molly, Melissa attacked Nick all the time. I just need to find where she did it, and I've been looking for it and I haven't found it yet. So
it was absolutely,
I'm gonna keep looking, don't worry.
Wrong. And Like I told you, I could not watch you go down in flames, especially knowing what I knew about you all those years ago. And
what are you trying to say? So, see, this is what bothers me. You're saying that you believe him because of what you knew about him all those years ago. You've already come to admit that your relationship with Nick was supposedly you banging him in a hotel room backstage at a concert. That's what you imply. You didn't even directly come out and state where I saw you say it. People have said you directly said that you did sleep with Nick. What I heard her say was her describe pretty much everything but saying that she had sex with him. But it didn't happen. Melissa became a victim of MGL. See, Ninja, and you don't have to worry. I know a lot of the evolution of the story, but I'm just going and doing what I always do, which is looking at every single thing and treating the story in a very serious way before I go into it myself. That's why I'm stopping myself a lot and waiting a lot before I go further to make a determination, right?
I guess I'm allowed to say a few things, I'm told, but I want to not take...
But in August, you were saying that you had to keep certain things secret still. So how is it that in March you're allowed to come out and say things? In August, all these months later, you still have to keep a secret? It doesn't make sense.
For anything. And I know a lot of people say thank
you. You just did. You literally, at the 2-minute mark or the 1-minute 30-second mark, said that you did this.
You for what
it's
you've
like,
done.
Oh, Ninja, I know. I just want to make sure everybody knows that. Yeah. I just want to make sure everybody knows that.
There was a conglomerate of different girls that helped me. And I must say that.
Now, see, you're doing it again. You took credit earlier, and now you're taking credit. 30 seconds ago, you said you didn't want to take credit. But you do take credit. You do.
There was 20 of who I now consider friends now. I've never met them, probably never will. But you're very lucky to have that many people that are willing to go out on a limb and support you in the way that they have. And
I'm hearing it in her voice again when she brings up this fabulous 20 and all this. It's just something's not right. She's getting that tone again. She's getting that behavior. Those little tics are happening again when she brings up these people. And I don't know if she's lying or if she's not, but it really seems like she is.
I know, Nick, that you never thought that you would hear from...
Here it is. Now, right after she starts lying, she goes into a big lie. It's almost like she works in, and once she starts lying, she can't help herself from lying more and more and more. And then it leads into her doing all these, actions.
From me again.
There it is.
I know that.
There it is.
I know that you never thought that you would hear. I didn't expect to...
See how her face is changing, the way she talks is changing, specifically always at these certain topics.
To be in this position, but I know that 15 years ago when I was, about to get married and my own husband, was disappointed.
Notice how it's completely different now when she's in her memory. And this is why, as someone that tries to figure out, what they can take as truth or not, again, not as evidence, but as an observation, you look at the way they're accessing their imagination and the way they access their memory. You learn the tics they have when they access their imagination versus the tics when they access their memory.
When he found out about me and Nick Carter and, the stories. And
as soon as she brings up me and Nick Carter and the stories, she changes her behavior again. So I don't think you're telling the truth here.
So he was just so upset. But now, his attitude has totally changed. And he's like, I'm absolutely so proud that you stuck up for this guy and Scott Baio. And the fact that you would turn on your friend, Nicole Eggert, who I absolutely loved. But
No, so you shouldn't turn on your friend because your friend holds a different opinion than you do, especially when you just admitted that your opinion comes from some secret knowledge you have that you gained from banging this celebrity all those years ago. And so why wouldn't you expect, if what you're saying is true and you did gain secret information from this bang that made you trust Aaron, why is it that you're not understanding some of your friends don't agree with you if they didn't gain the same info? Doesn't make sense, Molly.
I knew she was lying to the public. The story that Nicole Eggert gave to the public, it was not what she told me in 2011, and that was wrong. And there's
something there. That right there, bringing up So Molly came out and said that she had a conversation in 2011 with someone that turned into a lie. And she came out and said, "Nuh-uh, you told me different in 2011. I don't believe her."
Poor Nick Carter. Oh my God. That is just... There is a blog right now that's being written, and I'm going to proofread it before it's released. It's coming out in the next couple of days. It's a continuation of the first blog that was written. I'm mentioned in the first blog. I don't know if I'll be mentioned in the second, regardless, but I will.
Jesus. Oh God, the cringe. The cringy behavior is almost hard to, you know, go through.
Proofread it, and it will be read by an attorney, and then it will be up, and hopefully the Backstreet Boys will no longer be afraid, and they will retweet it and use that hashtag.
Wow. Wow. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me.
His side too, so that Nick knows that you're in his corner, and you're going to retweet it, and
his side too. The hashtag is typically men too. You came up with his side too? Okay.
I want you to read it and see what we found on Melissa Schumann and Brandon Henschel. Now,
you just said you might not even get mentioned in it, yet what we found, you including yourself here.
Everyone was bothering me for a video on the real Brandon Henschel. I will say, honestly, that the situation has taken so many turns in this very long 4 months, which is really the reason why I kind of took off on a last-minute vacation to the Caribbean. That's why I have some sun finally. And Brandon Henschel seems like a moderately attractive guy, but inside is just rotten blood.
Isn't this guy Brandon Henschel? And it's Melissa's husband, like ex-husband or something. Oh shit. Oh no, that's current. Current. You're literally talking about Melissa's husband. You don't know Melissa's husband. You don't know him. How can you judge? You know what I'm saying? Now, if he live streamed himself doxing a bunch of people on YouTube every day like you've done for years, I could understand you drawing a conclusion. How do you have any information about this man?
Melissa, just a rotten to the core person. I feel like anyone associated with that girl, friends or family, should be embarrassed to know this girl.
My God.
Humiliated and ashamed.
Her family should be humiliated. This speaks volumes. This speaks volumes. Her family should be humiliated and ashamed for knowing her. And this, I think, gives us a bit of a peek into why Molly targets family members of victims and family members of people that are experiencing tragedies or whose family member is part of a tragedy. This literally explains it. She's felt this way since she first appeared. Look, if we were going to go down memory lane with Molly Golightly, where she first appeared on the platform, I could do this for hours because I have been. I just haven't been doing it live. And some of the things you hear, oh my God, does it send your head spinning? That's what this, you know, that's what the stuff I've been pulling at for a bit here to try and get. I'd like to do more of it live with you, but honestly, I feel like I'd be wasting your time and it should be edited and uploaded so that, you know, I don't drag you along live. So if you want to hear more about that and just get a little more about this whole thing, keep an eye on UNIROCK2. I should have uploaded today, but it needs more time in the oven. So another day. Tomorrow should be great, but that's why YouTube won't do anything to her. She's been doing this crap from day one. Well, yeah, but when it comes to just how brazenly she does the doxing and the certain TOS violations, those are very much more recent. You know, even going back then, her behavior is very different back then to how upfront she is on YouTube now. So The reason I feel she'll be banned is because of the doxing and the harassment she does just right in front of everybody. What she did there is not against TOS. She's more giving her opinion and talking, and yeah, she's lying, which is, she could be sued for what she did back then. It wasn't against terms of service. Now, the stuff she's been doing for the last few years definitely is. Okay, so, like I said, I could literally sit here with you as long as I wanted to, and I've got video after video after video of this stuff. But I don't want to bore you, and you need to know what's going on now, because this Idaho situation has taken a turn. And because I don't cover those kind of things here, you have to get your news when it comes to Idaho from people that you should be able to trust. Brian Enton is a really good source if you want to get any information about anything happening now involving these kind of stories. Do not trust any of these YouTubers on any breaking news or breaking thing around these stories. They will literally say and report anything. Now, there are a few good YouTubers when it comes to this kind of stuff, but even some people consider certain people good sources of information, and they're just not. So I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to, they can, do their thing. So whatever you know about Moscow, or, the Idaho thing, oh God, it's chilling to the bone. But of course, we need to take a look at what old Boo Boo been up to.
And we started seeing the cleaning crew actually leave the property. Everybody's wondering, why did they leave the property?
Oh, gee, Willikers, Batman. You have to wonder why they left the damn property, the cleaning crew. You have to wonder why. Either they were told by the police to stop cleaning, or they finished. They're just bad at this. They're just not good reporters. They're not good speakers. I just don't understand why anybody listens to these people.
We learned from an interview with Linda Liu and Chief Fry that they received a court order to stop, stop the cleaning services.
Okay, good. Good, I guess. This is normal procedure. It's how it happens. Sometimes they think they've got all the evidence they can get, and they release it to be cleaned. Other times they don't. So? My God, I just feel like the reason I feel like people like Betty exploit these situations is because the way they just go and say and report literally anything and everything they can. They'll turn anything and everything into content that's related to this stuff. They have no care for what they're reporting, how they're reporting it. Money, their reporting equates to money, so they need to go out there and just do it, right? And you get people like Brian Enton and others, they'll sit there and they won't report anything to you, and they'll sit on that property for hours and hours and hours and hours until there's something to report, and then they're going to go live and report it to you. Oh my God, all crime with Dandy. My goodness, it's been so bad. It's been so bad in the last few stories. YouTube is going to have to come in and shut this down. And I don't want them to, because when YouTube does that, when they come in and shut down types of content, it just hurts us YouTubers. Because then the people that do take time and that do, try to actually put together content for people and report things that matter, that, or that they look at a story like this and they say, it's a very sad thing. It's a very tragic thing. We're going to be careful with the information. Those YouTubers get censored if YouTube has to come in and make sweeping changes. There are so many Bettys, there are so many Mollys that YouTube is going to have to. They're going to get such a pushback that it's just going to turn into that, because it's getting bad. What am I watching? Why am I watching the truck pull out? Betty, can you tell me?
Now we have the cleaning crew showing up at 1122 King Road, Moscow.
Why are you doxing the cleaning crew? Why? What? Tell me why. Tell me your full report. I don't just want to hear cleaning crew, woo. I want to hear your full report. What's your full report?
Idaho. We heard from Chief Fry that they
You just said this. You just said it.
were going to be bringing in a professional cleaning crew to clean up the biohazards and the chemicals inside that they use for processing. This case is just now beginning, and
why is she trying to talk like a reporter? You're not a reporter. You're not a reporter. No news agency in the entire civilized world would hire you with the violent background that you have. It's not an old background. It's not something from when you were younger. Okay? No one. You are a danger to people. I've never seen anything like it. You know? How are you not? Yeah, I won't go there. I won't go there. I should go there, but I'm not going to. You are violent. You are very violent. You have really assaulted people and almost killed them. And you're just going to go hang out. I'm starting to think there's something weird going on. What is this? What is she doing? Were you guys here a couple weeks ago? I was literally just... Somebody had given me one of her videos to react to. And very quickly, the first search result that came up was a Reddit post that detailed where she had almost killed a guy and where she had been running up into people's homes. And even when she'd been told by the police not to go to certain places and certain people's homes, literally going to their back door and trying to break in and all this stuff, breaking things, punching teeth out and choking people. And I'm not making this up, dude. Like, I can't fathom this.
Heating up as they have made an arrest in Pennsylvania, is now arrested for this crime. Will other people be arrested? We are going to find out.
So, hold on. So you're filming the cleaning crew pulling in and pulling out and shit, and just repeating like the most basic information. You're like just literally, instead of like putting together, I don't know, like a 30-second long thing. I don't even know why you'd make a 30-second long thing here. Like, you're acting like this is some kind of breaking fucking news report, man.
Sorry, guys. All right, we're gonna go back and set up before everybody takes my spots. Oh.
Desperate. Most people would record this for about like to have like 30 seconds of B-roll, right? So that while they're doing some type of actual report, some type of commentary, some type of content, this would be like a 2-second video clip that you'd see the truck back up if they mention the truck. You get me? It's why you collect so much B-roll and you have so many, you know, these video files ready for when you actually put something together. Betty is out there taking any tiny thing she can record and dragging it out like, yo, I gotta make my cash off of these poor kids, y'all. And I know they were older kids. People all over the news are calling them kids because they died so young. I'm going to do it. I'm a bit of a boomer too. Sorry, I'm going to. Oh my God, dude. What are you doing, Betty? This is exploitative and gross.
I can tell by his voice.
She didn't even blur any of the license plates. She didn't even blur any of the license plates.
Captain Lanier right there. I can tell by his voice when he talked to me. Very nice guy, he seems. Here scratching our head. Why did they? And we're all.
Oh, let's hear this gripping commentary from this totally normal, not a complete psychopath person who's pretending to be a reporter. Let's see it.
All sitting here scratching our head. Why did they stop cleaning? And we're wondering, it's either one.
Jesus H. Christ.
For the grand jury.
I swear this is what we saw here. This is what we saw here.
Or 2 for the defense. And I'm not sure which, but with 4.
For the jury or the defense? What? 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 So wait a minute. You think that the jury or the did she say the jury or the defense? Am I hallucinating? She said the jury or the defense.
It's either 1 for the grand jury or 2 for the defense.
Yeah, for the grand jury or for the defense. You don't know how they collect evidence at a crime scene and how they process it at a lab and then how everybody has access to it and you just have no clue how this shit works or something? What? So you think that the grand jury, the defense, and maybe like these other 3 guys are all sending different people into the, hey, okay, we need blood from here. We have blood. They get the blood and they send the sample over. I mean, yeah, sometimes they'll do it that way, I guess, in some odd scenarios. But I know you would think that maybe the judge or the DA or the police chief, the police want to make sure that they've got enough or they've covered all their bases. I don't know, but I just don't. Once the police finish, a company comes in. I know, Smokey, that's the thing that's shocking me, right? So the police come in and different labs, different jurisdictions, whether it's the FBI or the local jurisdiction and whatever, they all come in and they get as much evidence as they can. And it goes off to labs. It's all tested. It's all, archived. And these tests and these things are what's available to the prosecutor or to the defense or whoever needs the information. And they'll have access to it. Yeah. I mean, I know there are stories where, they've had to go back to a crime scene for some reason or something. And I'm trying to process it. Just the way that she says what she says,
and I'm not sure which, but with...
Oh, no, it's really good paying work, yeah. Because you got to have, most of the time, because of the chain of custody of the evidence, and because of, they want someone with some form of reputation, like having a degree, knowing what they're doing, they pay good, yeah.
4 first-degree murder charges. Has the grand jury already been convened? Could they have those first-degree murder charges without a grand jury in Idaho? I'm unsure. I've got to look at the law, but we do have a lot of questions about...
You've got to look at the law. She's just a clown. She's just a fucking clown playing dress-up. Why can't you just be a YouTuber? Why can't you just go out there and act like a YouTuber? Act like what you are, I mean... So, Betty, you want me to believe that you went there and filmed this cleaning crew and you're just sitting here filming everything you can film all the time, right? And you said to yourself, okay, listen, it is very important that the people on YouTube or the people on the internet have some video of the cleaning crew pulling in and leaving, and that we get up there and I explain why the cleaning crew would be coming in and leaving right now. And I don't believe that at all. I believe what you said to yourself was, I need content to put on my channel to make money. You're not looking at this from the perspective of, I want to give information to people for a reason. There's a reason I'm giving the information. There's a reason I'm looking at what I'm looking at, right? It looks to me like you're starting from the premise of money and content and then filling it with whatever you can, because it just seems so weird. You have no clue how bad and how cringy this looks. Have you objectively sat back and watched this video of yours? I don't think you have, because if I had done this, I would expect Rachel to come in and say, why are you uploading that? Like, you should just maybe take a couple seconds of that footage for B-roll footage if you mention the cleaning crew in your commentary video. This is not important news broadcast fucking details that the public needs. This is just exploitation of this horrible scenario and of these victims so that you can make a few bucks today. I would expect my girlfriend, who acts as my producer here, and to actually come in and tell me that I'm off base here putting this up. It just doesn't make sense, Betty. Jesus H. Criminelli. So here is Heels in the Air, 11 hours ago.
True crime. If you're a true crime junkie, come over here. I go out to these cases. I'm not sitting in my, from my office discussing.
We wish you were sitting in your damn office, because you look like a fool out there doing what you do. You have no filter. You have no There is no idea for what you're doing. There's no driving force other than money here and spam. You're a clickbait spam YouTuber that's desperate to try to, you know, grab anything you can to throw on your channel, but you're pretending to be a reporter at the same time. You could be a clickbaity, bloggy YouTuber out at that scene talking about what you're seeing and giving your thoughts. That wouldn't be as cringy. It would still be cringy due to the depth of this tragedy, but it wouldn't be as cringy because I don't think there's anything wrong with a blogger who wants to go out there and like, holy shit, dude, look, the cleaning crew's here, and tell people what they think about it. I don't think that might, the way, if they did it right, I don't even think it'd be cringy. And I wouldn't get mad at them for uploading it. Maybe I would. I'd have to think about it. I'm just saying in general. But when I see someone pretend that they're the news, pretend that they're broadcasting this important event, and that they're on the ground out here to record this important thing, if this is true and you really are on the ground to report important things, you shouldn't be uploading spam garbage pretending it's a report. Reports should be to inform. They should be relative to the story. They shouldn't be this like spammy clickbait.
In these cases, sometimes we do, if it warrants it. Right? I'm out here. And it's crazy to me. I'm listening to some of these people that are talking about this case, and it's like, you got that wrong, you got that wrong, you got...
Yeah, you? Are you kidding me? I mean, yeah, you probably are listening to people that are getting things wrong, because a lot of people on YouTube are reporting it, getting it wrong, or acting cringy, or, you know, playing a role or something that they're not, just a YouTuber doing what they're doing. And again, if you're an actual reporter on YouTube, I'm not talking about you, because there are reporters that use YouTube to report from, and they have a team, they have the setup, they've got what they need, and they spend the money. Brian Enton works for the news, but if Brian ran a YouTube channel and did what he did now, I wouldn't look down on him for doing it, as long as you are actually doing it. You're faking it. And you, what, do you really think anyone doesn't see this, doesn't understand this? Or no, sure, you're going to get some boomers that come off maybe like a different site that never have really used YouTube that much, and they've only been on YouTube for a year or for 6 months, and they haven't really been around. They don't really know what's there, and they're still caught in that whole initial stage of them being on YouTube, and they might float into your channel and be like, keep it up, bruh. But that's maybe like 0.01% of the population. The other 99.9s are laughing at you guys for trying to play pretend like this. And you are much different, because you're very violent and you're very unhinged and crazy. And you can't say it's not true. I was literally watching videos of this woman losing her shit talking about victims related to other stories, okay? So she would mention either the perpetrator or a family member of a perpetrator or other victim of the event, and she'd get angry at that person and start literally go from normal talking to red-faced yelling in under a second, and then back to normal. And I stated of how psychopathic it was to watch her act this way, and just a week later, I stumbled upon some of these insane felonies where she literally pummels people in their teeth, knocking their teeth loose, spraying blood out of their mouth, and chokes their necks, chasing up to people's back doors after she's already been barred from properties for threats and screaming in the cop car, threatening to murmur the officers. And I'm not exaggerating. This was in the Popo report. It's all on Reddit. This woman is so bad, she's so violent, that people have had to take these things and put them on Reddit so that they can try to let people know that she is a danger to people. If you see her reporting on a story, stand away from her. Protect yourself, like awareness-wise. Keep an eye. Make sure she's not running up behind you about to choke you out, is what I'm saying, right? Get ready to duck and roll, or get ready to jump in your car and speed away. She's violent, and these are facts. This is not any kind of defamation. It's not any kind of slander or anything. These are factual. And you'll say, but what does that mean? Someone that just beat the shit out of someone and tried to kill him can't go out and report on a murder story, Uni? Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you can't pretend that you're some lawyer who has a degree. Oh, don't tell me she's not. She said she could print a press pass and wear it if she wanted. I have the video clip of her saying this. So she's not just trying to say that she's a YouTuber out there reporting to her audience or reporting to the internet. She's trying to convince you she's got a degree. She's been through ethics. She knows the ethics of reporting, the ethics of how to behave professionally with other people. Yet she tries to kill people.
You got that wrong. You got that wrong. You got that wrong. You got that wrong. Nope, that's not right either. Nope, not right.
Yeah, and this is all you looking in the mirror.
Then I come over to my side. It's like, okay, we got that right. Got that right. Got that right. Got that right.
You ain't got shit right. I don't know what you're talking about. If you really got anything right, you'd be able to name it.
Right. Got that right. It's like, why would you be listening to a couch potato when you got people out there with...
So this is part of their grift. Their grift is to just go out there and film themselves as much as you see it. When earlier I said it was clickbait, and I was correct, but there's also another part of this grift, not just the clickbait at the scene of these horrible tragedies to try and gain validity, since they can't gain validity due to her violent tendencies. Her violent tendencies prevent her, if she did go to college and try to get some type of journalistic degree, they wouldn't hire her anyway because of how she pummels and chokes people and goes onto properties and tries to like run in back doors and shit. Okay. So in order to make it able for her to make money, part of her grift is for her to convince you that the spam on the scene is her doing something different than the other people you see out there. That's the thing that makes her valid. All that spam, all those trucks pulling in and out, all those cleaning people pulling in and out, that she stands there filming while she says, I wonder if the grand jury sent them here to clean or not, or told them not to. I wonder if the grand jury, or maybe it was the DA, or maybe it was the King of England. I'm right all the time. But that's the grift. It's to make you think all this time capturing all the spam video that she tries to put her little act in, right? I'm going to get up there and act like a lawyer next to the spam, or act like a reporter next to the spam video. Sorry, we've covered fake reporters recently. Next to the spam video, I act like a reporter, and then it makes me valid to get your money. Part of the grift.
With boots on the ground, heels on the ground, looking into cases, looking at information.
Boots on the ground? Corrected yourself to heels on the ground. Heels on the Ground is a veterans charity organization. It's not you. You can lie and try to use that name as much as you want, but you're still not Heels on the Ground. Heels on the Ground actually has raised money and helped veterans and their families. They've done this. It's factual. You guys have done nothing but be asked by the media, the police, and the local the civilians where you go and do your shit to leave because of how crazy you are. You guys smelled like fish so bad, they felt that the neighbors felt that they needed to chop up raw fish and go put it where you were standing so that you'd be around your own aroma, okay? They also did this with cow dung because you smelled like the poo-poo so bad. So you guys are, keep talking. Go ahead.
And telling that back to you, like, we're right here. I've got a disc of actual documents from the police department.
Wow! Oh my God! What is your PayPal? You've got a disc of actual documents? Let me guess. These are the first documents you've ever seen in your life. That's why they're so actual. These are, oh, I know. You've got a disc of actual documents next to all the discs of fake documents. You know what I'm saying? Listen to how they talk. They tell on themselves. No other person is going to say, I am so valid because I have actual documents. Actual documents compared to fake documents, compared to imaginary documents are, oh, I know. Those documents are actual because your press pass is fake, right?
real deal? Why would you go over to Joe Blow and listen to a conspiracy?
Trisha says, hey, Uni, Happy New Year to all your family and Uni fam. Please hit the like button before Cherie goes nuts. Oh, thank you, Aussie Trisha. Thank you, Cherie. And yeah, I didn't remind you guys yet. Not only have I not reminded you to do that, I haven't even put any of my links in or anything. Please like and subscribe. If you want to support us, the best support is just watching my show, clicking my videos. Thank you. Subscribe to Unirock too. I appreciate you all very much for being here, by the way, too.
Theory after conspiracy theory.
And you especially, thank you, Cherie and Aussie Trisha. Thank you.
That doesn't even hold water, doesn't make sense, and is ruining people's lives. Meanwhile, you can come over here to the Bullhorn Betty.
What did she just say was ruining people's lives?
Who doesn't want the real deal? Why would you go over?
Well, this is why we laugh at you guys, because you're not the real deal. The reason... Now, do you see regular lawyers constantly giving speeches about how they have actual documents? Did I say lawyers again? I am stuck on them fake lawyers. I've been reading and working on shit all day, y'all. I'm sorry. You got to deal with this when I edit. You have to deal with me being like this. I'm going to be a little scattered when I'm edited all day. Anyway, though, say it again for me because it's so cringily delicious.
Police department.
Akador says, appreciate your work. Well, I appreciate your support. Thank you. I appreciate you watching very much.
I want the real deal. Why would you go over to Joe Blow?
I go to other people because they don't pretend. They don't sit and try to convince people their documents are actual. They don't go on these long speeches about how real they are. You get me? When I go watch other YouTubers, the only speeches I hear are the speeches of them telling me that they're not reporters, that they are just YouTubers, and I respect that. I respect people being honest with me. I don't respect psychopathic liars, okay? That's why.
And listen to a conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory that doesn't even hold water, doesn't make sense, and is ruining people's lives.
Notice how angry she's getting again. Like, she does this all the time when she speaks. She gets these eyes. Her eyes go from like this weird, it's almost like she's imagining the criticism that she's read on the internet against her, or she's imagining the criticism video that somebody made about her, and it starts to get in her head while she's talking. And then you start to see her eyebrows curl down just a little bit. You start to notice she gets this tint, this like tightness here in her eye muscles. And you notice like the bags under her eyes. It's almost like there's something that prevents her from sleeping properly. Because, man, look at those bags. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make, though, is that she goes from just speaking in a really low IQ fashion to anger very quickly. And then she's got levels of anger. This is a pretty low level of anger for her. I hope to God she gets really angry. Now, there's a reason why she... this is the Heels on the Ground clip this, because Heels on the Ground sees the same thing that I'm seeing and sees how cringy it is for these fakers, these graveyard creepers, these window peepers to act this way. It's very cringy, and I really appreciate Heels in the Air for clipping this.
Meanwhile, you can come over here to the Bullhorn Betty channel, Chronicles of Olivia, JLR, Dolly Vision, a number of other channels, and get actual facts.
I knew it. Actual facts. You do realize that there's no such thing as a fake fact, Betty. So you don't have to use the word actual in front of the word fact unless you're just running your mouth and not thinking about what you're saying. Yeah, an actual fact is the same thing as a fact. Got me?
So listen to...
My facts are fake. Well, mine are actual, so you must watch me. Oh my God, you've got actual facts, Betty. Can I please have your support link?
To actually formulate an opinion based upon true facts.
I haven't seen you formulate an opinion in God knows how long. I literally just see you running around screaming and yelling and flipping out and acting like a, psycho. But no, I'm terrified of this person. This person has that same thing going in their eyes that many other dead-eyed people out there have. I've been speaking pretty much a lot lately about another person who has dead eyes out there. who also ironically has a reputation of attempting or succeeding in murmuring people. You know, the thing is, it doesn't shock me to find out how violent she is. All the tells are there. It's almost like she's so desperate to convince people, and she's so controlled by her anger that it produces the constant convincing that we see on her channel.
Just doesn't make sense to me. Just didn't make sense to me.
Great video, Heels in the Air. Great video. I'm telling you, man, I'm just thankful. Hey, Wicked, no such thing as an inactual fact, huh? Well, you know, maybe. It depends on where you're hanging out, right? Betty's got a whole bunch of them actual facts, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm so glad that I found these channels. You know, it's hard to find cringe like this. I used to do this same content and had just every day thousands of uploads to go poke through. I could never get enough of the content. I still do. But it used to be really easy to find because they were all people that believed in extreme conspiracies. Now that content's been banned from YouTube, sometimes it is hard to find another cringe lord. And this channel, Heels in the Air, catalogs the cringe lords. And I could just go through and go through and go through. And I sent my findings to Moscow PD, and Chief Fry personally got back to me. Now it's a wait and see. So wait a minute. Why is it that you're not employed somewhere, either doing an investigation or some kind of reporting? Why is it that you're not employed doing it? Where's your degree? Right? You know you need a degree to be able to prove to people that you have been trained, maybe not in the process of reporting, because there's a lot of people who feel that they can be a reporter just by going and talking somewhere. But that degree also carries the weight of ethics. And the ethics are, it's a fact checker that says, are you liable to tell me something in one way that would tell the truth and not be exciting because the truth isn't exciting, and not be crazy because this story is not crazy? Or are you likely to try and convince me of a lot of things and change a story so that more people will be likely to watch you? That's the ethics of the situation of reporting. There's ethics in every, just about every, really important job or professional job out there. And it's another question you have to ask yourself. We just watched Betty, one of the most unethical of the fake reporters on the platform, after we watched Molly, one of the most unethical of the fake reporters and fake lie crime channels on the platform. But I haven't seen much of this person. We're going to skip this person. They were first with suspect name. My boycott has ended. Let's see this. So let me just, we don't need to wait. We've got the description. So Betty and JLR were the first to break a suspect's name in Idaho. Or not, the young man they named was arrested for theft. You just can't hay out of your own way, or stay.
I also told you guys when we found out who it was going to most likely be somebody we weren't even looking into, that we weren't even looking at, and that we were all going to be shocked when we found out who it was. If you guys remember my revelations, whenever I was telling you what was going to probably transpire here, this is what we were talking about. University, and said it's a cop.
I don't know it. Does she? You wonder. I got to ask you guys this. Do you think she believes she's believable? Okay. Do you think that when she's talking like this, does she believe that people will stumble upon her channel and say, wow, this person sounds like a reporter? Because I feel like I'm watching a skit, right? Every time she talks, I feel like it's a skit, where it's a comedy skit where someone's trying to make fun of reporting. Someone's trying to make fun of whatever it is they're doing. And they're being overly sarcastic. They're being overly performative. You know how I always say that about Molly? Same thing here, right? The stressing of certain points, the way of delivering information, the way that she kind of cuts her sentences really fast and she tries to talk faster at certain points and then draws it out in others. It's backwards. It works only for sarcasm. I hear a sarcastic reporter, a comedian, portraying a reporter, not a reporter. I have to wonder, does she know this about herself or is she clueless?
Possible that the assailant may have came from Washington State University. That's the.
You know what I think? I think she sits down and, most people go in front of a mirror and they're like, okay, I'm going to nail this today. I'm going to nail it. Yeah. Right. She doesn't do that. She sits down in front of a television, turns on, channel 4, channel 6 news. And she's like repeating the way they talk as a, hey, this is Bullhorn Betty breaking. Nope, too wrong. Not good enough. This is Bullhorn Betty breaking news. You know what I'm saying? That's what she does to get ready.
The nearest university to this university, guys. And we stopped.
What'd you say?
This is what we were talking about now. University, and said, is it possible that the assailant may have came from Washington State University? That's the nearest university.
We said, is it possible that the assailant may have came from Washington State University because it's the closest university and they were college students? What? Are you serious? You're not faking me out right now? You're not joking? When's the last time you saw a reporter get up on the news and be like, hey guys, those college students that, that stuff happened to? Well, I was just giving my report a couple nights ago, and I said that it's probably someone from the college. Aren't I? It's like I've got a crystal ball.
To this university, guys. And we stopped by there thinking that it was a possibility.
So you're telling me you wasted the gas and the time, and you were so bored, and you are so out of legit things to do here that just, you said to yourself, well, they were college students, so let's just go over there and sniff around. We don't got anything else to do, nothing better to do, and I need more footage so that I can clickbait people.
So there is a press conference to.
I noticed that she has the same body language that Molly does too, to some extent. Not the same, but she has the same over-exaggerated way of kind of jiggling around or jerking herself around when she's, really hamming it up,
Today, with Police Chief Fry around 1 o'clock. Unfortunately, we're going to have to air it after the fact on the Bullhorn Betty channel, because at the end of the day, we're going to be with the family going to the University of Idaho a YouTube channel. That'll probably be the best way for you guys to watch that. Press.
See what she's doing with her mouth? I guarantee you she saw Walter Cronkite or someone do that, and she's just like, oh, I'm keeping that one.
Conference.
I'm using that one. I'm using that lip smack.
We're going to be in Coeur d'Alene with the family, and Elkins is the name.
So somebody needs to. Are you serious? So the family knows about your record of attempting to really hurt people, and they're just okay with sitting down and talking to you. This doesn't seem like a good idea, man. You never hear me saying this kind of thing, y'all. Like, I really think that she is a danger to people in public like this. She gets angry all the time, okay? And she's done some whack shit. I don't like holding things people have done against them because it's very easy commentary. You know what I'm saying? Off of the platform, right? Because this thing that happened was off the platform. It was from like, I don't know, I forget the year it happened, but it really wasn't that long ago in relation to how crazy it was. If it was something that she was like 18 or 20 and she had flipped out, that's one thing, right? But I don't even remember how old she was, or I don't even know how old she is. I'm not going to guess. My whole point is, though, I don't think it's appropriate. This is why. There's a reason why news stations won't hire you, Betty. And let's just pretend you had let's say you had certification after degree after degree after certification. You still wouldn't get hired because of how insane you have been in public. I won't keep telling people what you've done, because what you've done is so shocking that I kind of do want to repeat it. You know, saying you're going to be with the family, they don't need to expose themselves to you while they're dealing with everything they're dealing with right now. Now, let's just say, let's just restrict it to your angry outbursts, your constant lying, your constant attacking people, constant doxing people. You're not an appropriate person to be sitting down with these families and talking to them. And that's not even including what you've done other than that, the really extreme stuff that you've done. Okay. My God. My God. For those of you that don't know, I have to tell you one last time. I'm going to stop trying to bring it up. So just so I can defend myself here, there is a group of people, when you start talking about her, they go out and post what she did, because they want people to know this is the kind of person you're dealing with. And in most stories, I try to ignore those things, but I'm going to tell you one more time here. She flipped out, started to break stuff in someone else's home, then pushed them and pushed them and pushed them and pushed them until they fell over. They hurt their arm really bad, falling backwards, trying to catch themselves. She jumped on them, punched them right in the teeth, knocked their teeth loose, blood spurting everywhere, and grabbed their neck and started choking them until the person said they had started to lose consciousness, and then she finally snapped out of it. And this is one of the less extreme examples. Well, it's okay, I won't say it like that. This isn't the only very extreme thing that those people out there try to inform people about Betty. And they do it, obviously, because they're worried that Betty might snap again. And I have to say, at first, I was like, come on, y'all, it's not going to be that bad. Because you don't typically find people that go from like, on the scale of angry psychopath 0 to 100 in their YouTube videos that often, and then find out that they actually have done these things, these kind of things that you would assume someone who acts that crazy would do. So when I first found out, I'm like, it's not going to be that bad, y'all. It's not going to be that bad. When I looked at it, I had to go click through because they had it had the details. So there was the details there, and then if you clicked it, it would go and show the actual police report. I didn't even just read the details. I was like, I need to see with my own eyes the police report to know that they're not lying about Betty. And I clicked on it and saw with my own eyes. So, you know, when Molly was running her fraudy scam, you know, Letitia shit, and yelling at Dre and treating Dre like she was, I did find it very appropriate to play the video of Molly trying to steal a stripper's nightly income, because I felt, how is someone who just did this not that long ago saying these things about a mother who stays home with their family and lives with their family every day and is home with them, teaching them, cooking for them, and caring for them every day? It's inappropriate for this stripper stealer to be saying these things about Dre, right? So, you know, that in itself with Molly is extreme, knowing that Molly's out there, she acts the way she does, and she has these things that she's recently done, and she tries to judge others. Look at Betty. Betty, you have more in common. If you're out there recovering these stories, I hate to say this. In a lot of the stories you cover, you've got a lot of things in common with with these stories you're covering that other people just don't have. You know? So it's pretty scary. It's pretty freaking scary. Yeah. So basically, it's just got all of her felonies and misdemeanors. And I said to myself, I'm only going to click on the felonies and take a look at them. And yeah, it's bad. It's her threatening to kill people after violently assaulting people, trying to go and rush into people's back doors when she's been banned from properties. It's her trying to, now I said back doors. So she could have tried to run up and knock on the front door, but because she'd been told not to come there, she ran to the back door and started to try to get in it. Personally, I believe it's because she'd hoped that the back door was unlocked. And then what would have happened if she would have got in? Right? And you know, that's what makes it, you know, I think, you know what I think? You know, I'm starting to figure some stuff out, man. Did you just hear her? Because she was just saying, she was just talking about how she's different from the other YouTubers, better than them, because she goes and physically goes there, right? I wonder if she does that as a middle finger. You know, she's kind of like she's saying, oh yeah, you find it appropriate for me to be going around these situations with what I've done in the past, not too recent, not too distant of past. Very recent, in my opinion, not too old of the past, but it's almost like it's a way to give the middle finger to people. Like, oh yeah, you think I shouldn't be going around these people? Well, I'm going to go around them, haha. And I don't know, maybe she feels like she's like, has to make up for, maybe she feels if she goes out and covers these stories and she's really nice to these family members, that it'll make up for her almost killing the person that she almost killed, or it'll make up for her doing some of the things that she's done that were very extreme. I don't know. Another thing that I find very, there's a thing that a lot of it had in common also, which was the snow. the nose candy, if you will. But, you know, we'll leave that out of the criticism. Anyway, hopefully you guys have had some fun chilling with me. I missed you. I know I said I'd upload today for you. I know I said that, but it's gonna be tomorrow. One thing I do, I take my time. If I don't think it's done, I work some more. But as soon as tomorrow, you'll have my thoughts on early Molly Golightly YouTube, where we tonight earlier, if you weren't here earlier in the stream, I played Molly telling us back in 2018, early 2018, where her channel came from, how she got her channel, what started her channel. We actually have Molly's own testimony, and we need it because Molly has deleted all those old videos, and there are some archives of those videos out there. And before I could ask you guys, where did Molly start her channel? And you could tell me. She was attacking Melissa Schumann. Well, before we had some videos of her attacking Melissa Schumann, but that doesn't mean that Melissa Schumann is where she started her channel until today. Because I have a video, and I played it earlier, of Molly admitting that she started her channel, and the first thing she did on her channel was the Melissa Schumann topic. And she gives a little bit of a time frame. So now we have Molly's own admission to where her channel came from, the topic, and all of that. And it's not that I have to have it from Molly, because a lot of you guys know where it's come from. But when I upload my video, I want it, if it comes from Molly's mouth, people are going to take it more from the horse's mouth, you know. And I'm not calling her a horse. It's just a phrase of speech. But you get what I'm saying. So that Melissa Schumann topic is very sensitive. It's been a very hard video for me to make. It's very sad and gross all around the whole topic itself. So, because you got to dive into the very beginning of the Me Too movement. And, you know, people do want to defend Melissa. They do want to defend Nick Carter. So no matter where you're at in the story, people are going to be against you. And it's going to be hard to talk about. Especially if other people have experienced similar things. So it's something I haven't wanted to cover. So we're just going to leave out all the really bad stuff and just talk about Molly's, you know, the start, where she came from and what she did in the beginning. Now, another clip I have, I'll actually play it for you in case you weren't here, because it's crazy.
This has been nothing but a learning experience for me. If it wasn't for your freaky deaky wife, Melissa Schumann, I wouldn't have my channel. And I love my channel. I've met so...
Damn it. Okay, that's the wrong clip. Let me see if I got it in the other room here. Because there's another timestamp you have to hear, and I might have stuck it in the wrong room. Well, shit. I'll play it later. At tomorrow's stream, or I'll upload it tomorrow. There's a couple clips from these videos that are very enlightening, and I just, you know, want to hook you up. Maybe I actually still have it. Wanted to play it for you again. It's okay. Okay. Man, Bullhorn Betty's she is a different kind of creature. So, like, if I had to sum her up before I log off, one of the biggest issues with Betty is that she pretends to be a reporter, and it's because it's such an example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's somebody who has no grasp of what a reporter is taught. There's no grasp of the ethics and the morals of being a reporter. There's no grasp of how deep sourcing information goes and the methodology to properly source information, or to build a report, or to build a story. She is not educated in any of that, even 0.1%. It's Dunning-Kruger effect. Dunning-Kruger effect is where you are so ignorant at a topic, but you think you're an expert, and you think other people see you as an expert. And it's the best way to sum her up. She is a Dunning-Kruger reporter. She's a fake reporter who believes that she can fake being a reporter so good that people think she's a real reporter, better than everyone else. And in reality, your most basic commentary YouTuber does a better job of presenting these stories, sourcing these stories, fact-checking these stories, and most importantly, being honest with the viewer than she could ever hope to. Because it's not just something you can just sit down and do. You know, you do have to have a basic skill at building, you know, an outline, at being able to source like we were taught to in high school and college. And I'm sorry, I know that Betty doesn't know how to do these things. And I barely remember how to source from when I was in college, because it was so damn complicated. I hated it. No? You go talk to anyone that had to source. Either you had to source differently from the internet, you had to source differently from a magazine, you had to source differently from an encyclopedia, you know? And you had to have like everything perfect. So what I'm trying to say is the most basic things are things she's never sat down and tried to teach herself. Do I think one of you couldn't spend a couple years educating themselves on these topics and how to be a reporter? Yeah, you could. Would you be as good as a reporter that went through college and got a degree? Well, no, but you'd still be capable of doing what you need to do here on YouTube to bring these stories to you. Would I call you, someone that spent a few years really studying it, coming to YouTube and building a reputation of delivering the truth to their audience, would I call you a reporter? No. I'd say that you're, you know, at least a billion times more of a reporter than Betty even understands of being a reporter. And I don't have a problem calling someone on YouTube a reporter, though, because I'm talking about an actual news reporter, an actual hired, credentialed reporter. I do think you can report on things on YouTube. Like if you're doing a report on the internet, reporting on breaking news on Twitter, yes, you can report on those things. You could be called a reporter of those things, as long as you're not trying to insinuate that you are a trained and you feel me? Okay, good. Just want to make sure I cross my T's and I cross my I's and I dot my T's properly for those that may try to criticize me. And starting 2023, I do have to do something cringy before I go offline. So let me get that done really. Oh, my ass! I've been sitting in this chair too long, guys. My ass is numb. My ass! My ass is numb. I've been sitting in this chair too long. So, going into 2023, I want to be able to network with other YouTubers. I always want to keep that door open, and I want to be able to respond to people that may want to make something, like if they disagree with me or they want to ask my opinion on something. I want to make that available. So let me get cringy for a minute and tell you how I do things. So I want to avoid dishonest people. Okay, I don't care if somebody has a loose point or if it's not a serious point. I don't care if somebody has a point that, you know, you get what I'm saying. I don't care. I'm not saying someone has to be serious or do their homework or something in order to criticize me, make a video aimed at me or whatever. But I just want to be able to weed out people that are being dishonest, just trying to clickbait or bullshit or waste time, from people that actually do want to get my opinion on something, disagree with me on something, criticize me on something. So if you are being honest in your video, if you have an actual opinion and it goes against something I've said, or if you just want me to talk to you, or if you want to, you know, have me on your show or whatever, reach out, hit me up. Don't feel scared. Don't feel afraid. I'm not a mean person. I'm not a bad person or anything. I know I make fun of these kind of cringy things that people do on the platform, but I think that's a good thing. Criticism is something that I not only feel is absolutely necessary for any of us to be able to effectively do anything. Criticism is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's a normal part of dialogue. And you know, if you've ever seen me in Navy, and don't worry, Navy's not gone or anything. It's just been the new year and season. So hopefully he'll be back soon because we miss him. We want him here. But if you've seen me in Navy do a show, we argue a lot. We go back and forth a lot. We disagree a lot. So what I want to say is, because of people like Molly or people that I've exposed doing fraud raisers or scams in the past, they like to build this fake caricature of us, our community, and myself as people that, you know, are trolls or something like that, or what, you know, whatever. And it's just complete BS. I will disagree. I will criticize people. I'm not going to ever take someone's side or be against somebody. We're going to talk topics. We're not here to, you know, play those kind of games. We're here to give our opinion or to commentate or to report, even depending on how seriously you are at what you do. Because again, I do think YouTubers can report. I just don't think Betty or Molly can, or any of their friends. So, you know, long story short, I'll stop being cringy here. Don't be afraid to hit me up. Don't be afraid to make a video on your channel that is geared towards me or something. And if I don't respond to it, send it in to my mods, or come in when I'm live and say, hey, I made a video and I wanted you to look at it. I criticized you. I want you to look at it. You're more than welcome to do those things. 100%. I'm not just saying it. Okay. So, hey, Carl. Hey, man. You too, man. I've got so many people I need to get a hold of. I am not ignoring anybody. Happy New Year, Carl. I hope you had a great Christmas, great New Year. I was supposed to get a hold of Wade. I mean, there's a bunch of people that wanted me to hit him up. I'm not ignoring any of you. I've just been so busy. It's been a really crazy month for me, crazy week. And I'm getting back in, as everybody knows, to editing. So I'm ready to just bash my head through a wall after, you know, today. My computer crashed. Now, hold on. Don't gasp yet. If you've ever been in my Discord, you'll know that I have this thing where I'll write a script and then my computer will crash, and then my script will be gone and I'll flip out. But today, I wrote the script and I actually remembered finally to save it before I got up and started to walk around and everything. As soon as I finished it, I hit Control S and I saved it, and my computer crashed. But I didn't lose any work this time. So maybe I'm actually learning. Maybe I'm actually not going to have those problems again. So, you know, now I did work on my computer. I spent days working on my computer. And ironically, one of the things that it helped with was Tarkov. I updated I updated 3 internet LAN drivers. So if you're having trouble connecting in Tarkov, if you play, because we play here a lot, so some of you may watch me that play Tarkov. If you're having issues, update your internet drivers, because something about me doing it allowed me to be able to connect to Tarkov again. Now, I'd love to play Tarkov with you in the after show tonight, but I am wanting to upload very soon, so I can't do it. I'm sorry. We do have to start cutting some stuff off, you know. Lauren says you should use OneNote. It saves as you go. I know. Janie was telling me that too. WordPad++, you know, use it. I have in the past. I just am I'm a dork. I have to use a physical notepad, and I have to have a specific kind of pen. Now, it doesn't mean I can't type it, because I can, but I have to type it on Notepad. I hate using anything other than Notepad. I don't know why, because there's a lot of things that, you know, a lot of benefits I could have from using something different than Notepad. Notepad, by the way, if you don't know what it is, if you're not a computer person, this little program, the reason I like using it is because of nostalgia. We've been using this little program since, shit, man, it was on MS-DOS. This program was around before Windows. It was a different version of it. Let's see what it says. It doesn't have a year? Huh. So the reason I use Notepad is because I've used it since, you know, back in the day. Many years. You're right. I do. In 2023, I need to bite the bullet and start writing my scripts on a program that'll save it if I crash. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll go with what Janie recommended. It was like WordPad++ or something. I'll ask Janie. I'll install it tomorrow, because you're right. I do need to, you know, I need to get out of my old ways, you know. I'm one of those kind of people. I feel like I have to, you know, I have to have one of those composition books. It's in the bedroom. I have to have a composition book. I like having a Pilot G2 or one of the fine-tipped Pilot pens when I write, when I script, or when I do anything. So, yeah, I'm weird. I know. I'm acting like I'm a painter. I'm Da Vinci, and this is my art, and I have to draw it. You know, I have to have my tools for my art. Oh, and for those of you that care, which is probably not a lot of you, I've been making progress towards my audio songs too. So if you want to hear when I get to a good point in one of the songs I'm writing, I'll put it on Twitter. I'll make a really little file of it, and I'll throw it out on Twitter so that you can get a preview. So it's at UNIRocktv if you want to see any of my drawings, any of my songs. And it's UNIROCK2 on YouTube if you want to watch my uploaded videos that contains everything from music, graphics, art, and all that stuff, scripting. I try to use all the stuff I generate. Now, lately, I haven't been using my own music. I used to, but I got tired of those songs. I hadn't made any new songs in so long that I started to use a couple songs that from a game called Faster Than Light. They're really good songs. But I'd like to replace those songs with songs that I've made. Now, that's a smart thing for anyone to do because of copyright hits and stuff like that. So, you know, we'll see though. And let me play one of my favorite songs, a Unirock classic. You know what? Let's just go out on a different Unirock classic. And this the one you just heard is a Unirock classic, and I did help make that song. But the drum beat is my friend Mark, just to be upfront, because I don't want anyone thinking that I made the whole damn thing. Let's go out with this cryptic little thing I made for a spooky video I did back in 2016, and I will see you guys on UNIROCK2 tomorrow, and then here live on RockAlot for a shorter, more condensed, more to the point, more show-like UNIROCK Live. That's what I hope to do from now on. Give me about a month, and my live streams will respect more of your time. And yes, I did everything. I did the drums and everything on this one. It's a horrible mix, though. I need to remix this. You can't hear the bass. The bass is too low, isn't it? Yeah, the bass needs to come up. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here giggling. I turned my camera off. I'm sitting here giggling about that meme I just showed. Yeah, he won. He won the Grifties is what I'm hearing. I've heard that he won the Grifties. I need to bleach my brain now. Lauren, don't worry. I'm going to have to bleach my eyes too. Hey, he publicly posted that picture. Now, he wasn't holding the Oscar. That's the meme, but he's the one that publicly posted that. So, shit, what was it? Oh, Michelle. Fuck. Tomorrow I'm going to update you guys on the Michelle thing. I know I didn't get to update you on the Michelle thing. So, yeah, we'll do that tomorrow, okay? I apologize. I didn't put it in the title or anything, though. So, I think. Yep, I didn't. No worries. Okay.